sexy people. It is Dave. It is Duncan back from Metal Epidemic for another album review. For this review, Duncan and I have been checking out the new album from Finnish powerhouse Battle Beast. The band's new album, Steelbound, will be released on October 17th via Nuclear Blast Records. Battle Beast storms forward with unrelenting force, dropping their electrifying, highly anticipated 7th studio album, Steelbound, on October 17th. Moving fluently between classic metal, super-powered synthesizers, and symphonic realms, even embracing 80s tinged hard rock, these Helsinki heavy metal hitmakers have... yeah.
Question mark. Like steeped, like fucking knuckle deep.
Yeah, these Helsinki heavy metal hitmakers have created a musical palette that's powerful, engaging, and above all, fun. Since their humble beginnings with 2011's Steel, each subsequent release have seen the band grow like an impending snowball of doom, earning them a loyal fan following. Released in 2022, the band's sixth album, Circus of Doom, their fourth consecutive chart topper in their home country, saw the sextet selling out sizable venues across the globe. Steelbound is a thunderous monument of defiance and resilience, an earnest battle cry for all those who have ever been dismissed, diminished, or silenced. I'm just creating new words.
Is it a diminish finish person? A finish.
A slab of positivity and joy. Throw your worries into the next trash can, at least for 8 minutes, and sing, dance, headbang, do whatever feels right. The album was produced and mixed by the band's guitarist Janne Bjorkroth at JKB Studios, and heard by Mika Jusila at Finnvox Studios. So
the mighty, majestic instrument of the guitar. I'm like, honestly, 5. Let's move on.
Album number 7 from Battle Beast.
Yeah, I literally never heard of these guys before. Had you?
I was aware of the band.
Of course you're you're fucking so plugged in. Like you might as well be unplugged. I don't know.
I just assumed that this wasn't really going to be my thing. Like I'd never checked them out. I'd seen like pictures of them, heard of them, but I just kind of lumped them in with all those other...
an errant hatred of the guitar.
Yeah.
I don't get it, Dave. It is it's the most majestic and most difficult of all the instruments.
If you say so. I think
there's a lot of people playing drums. It ain't a lot of people playing guitars. That's all I'm saying.
It's niche. I'll give you that. I don't even know how I heard one of the singles from this, because it wouldn't be something I'd be like, oh, let's check out the new Battle Beast. I don't know how I came across it, but I think it was the title track, and I was like, wait, this is what Battle Beast sound like? I was like, have I been avoiding this band unfairly? What's going on here? Like,
have I held this from Duncan in a way which makes me wonder if we are actually friends now?
I didn't even know about the guitar
until fuck off.
Until we got the album.
It's such a blatant I didn't know about the guitar. Is a sentence you've said many times and I know is factually inaccurate.
No, nothing.
I don't know what they were playing a guitar. Who would have guessed?
What's a guitar? I also was thinking like, all right, that's one single, but is the rest of the album going to be like totally different to this? Is just to lure me in? Like, what's going on here?
I can't imagine any band being like that. We have to write like a fucking Eurovision metal track and then be a fucking like power metal band in the back. Like, there's like, yeah, man.
Yeah, but
so happy right now. So happy right now.
Let's take a chance. And
how many times you listened to this? Because the last time we spoke, you were like, "This is like it was getting close to double figures, which is a lot for you." So, like in a week, that is a lot for you.
Yeah.
But do we know? Did it go over? Did it go to double digits?
No, it wasn't in double figures. No, but it was a lot. I didn't do the back catalogue though, because I was like 6 albums.
6 albums, right? Who is the fucking time? This is like a week that we're recording 6 album reviews. Yeah. Also, it's October, the busiest fucking month this year for metal releases. So I get it, Dave. We'll forgive you your laziness and not doing your due diligence.
I did listen to the last album. I listened to Circus of Doom.
Oh, that's more than me.
But that was it. I was like, I'm not doing all of them. I'll do the last album. And the last album is pretty good. Like it's it was more varied in style than I was expecting. So there was like a good chunk of that album I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool, quite dig this. But and I was like, right, but we need to go on to Steelbound. We need to see what they're doing on this album. Album 7, Duncan. Steelbound kicks off in like a huge way, like even bigger.
Hits on hits on hits on hits, Dave. It's like just like a fucking like a Jenga, an impregnable Jenga tower of fucking classic fucking hits. Just keep building that bitch.
Hit makers, Duncan. Yeah, I mean, like if you've never heard Battle Beast before, their sound is primarily very very upbeat, quite uplifting, kind of classic heavy metal at its core. But then there's like a streak of like power metal, a bit of AOR.
Oh god, yeah.
Hard rock in there, and also, as I kind of mentioned in the press release, a bit of the 80s, which was unexpected.
Like every fucking song on this feels like it should be accompanied by a martial arts training montage on a hill. You know what I mean? Like with the sun setting just in it, just silhouetted people training kung fu. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, the album opens like ridiculously strongly. Like that Burning Within is just like fast paced, like a real heavy metal anthem. Fairly like traditional. It keeps to the kind of Battle Beast kind of core components. Like the verses are really just like full force driving on, chugging guitar. A little bit of like Primal Fear in there. I got a little bit of that coming through, and like there's some older stuff in there. There's a little bit kind of like Judas Priest coming through as well, but you've got like this kind of grandiosity of a band like Eclipse in there as well at the same time. The chorus though, like just like ramps everything. You're just like, whoa,
lifts it up.
What's going on? Like huge synths, like vocals are like just the Nura as a vocalist, like
she's incredible.
She's just like, it's so effortless. She's just like, this range is just like keeps going. You're like, and she sets the bar so high on that first track. I was like, well, this is track 1, like, and we're starting off here. Like already this feels like bigger and more memorable than Circus of Doom. Not to say that album didn't have like big like singles and stuff, but from the off this just felt bigger. But this album doesn't like just rehash what they did on Circus of Doom. As this kind of like unfolds, there's a couple of twists coming in this album which were a little bit unexpected but also quite refreshing. Also, like the 80s thing on this album is much more potent than the previous album. There's a bit of it on the previous album, but this one, like from the off, you're like, okay, like the vocals here have got a bit of the 80s. But then when you move into track 2, it's like, oh, hold on, you've not had anything yet.
Rocky training in like a tundra mountain right now. Like it's like
here we are. Track 2 comes armed with like shoulder pads, leg warmers, a fucking perm. I mean, like it's like, here we go. Now it's these. We are like
taste the hairspray, Dave. Taste it.
Like we've got rototoms, we've got fucking hand claps, 80s keys, big fucking rock riffs, all rolled together into this one big anthemic banger. And like it's like structure wise it's very like conventional. It doesn't really deviate from the course of here's another massive banger. But my god, like hooked in. Like that second track I was like, oh my god, this is fucking insane. And then the title track was after that, which I'd already heard. That one actually, when I heard it again, I was like, there's a little bit of like Care of Night kind of coming through.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It's very, very AOR kind of coated, which I dig. A little bit of Bonnie Tyler in there as well, not gonna lie. But again, chorus is epic. Not only like vocally, but like musically, like my foot was going. Like it was just like, yes, here we fucking go. Track 4 was the first pivot of the album though, where I was like, did not see this coming at all. Twilight Cabaret. I love it.
It's so fucking good. It's like Streets of Rage closing video credit, like arcade game music. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, there's like this kind of kind of Latin American kind of flavour.
Oh, it's like you literally want to get up and start shaking your ass. I can't explain it. Like, it's all in the hips.
Kind of mambo or kind of samba, kind of like feel it. Still like heavy guitars and like drums are like really groovy. But then you've got like piano and percussion and these like kind of Latin American rhythms, and it just gives this track a completely different feel. But at the same time, it's still very Battle Beast. Very well put together track. A lot more kind of moving parts on this one. The instrumentation in particular, and that has to be really tight. Like to emphasize like the kind of twists of the track. There's like little musical stabs where you'd usually have like a brass section. They still do it, but there's no brass obviously. But they nail it like absolutely awesome. Did not see that coming at all. They don't really linger on that sound though.
No.
Like, we're done.
One and done.
On to the next one, into action with Last Goodbye, which again a bit of kind of Primal Fear attack in the guitars, but it's not an album that's really like riff focused, if you know what I mean. Like although they play a big part in creating like the backbone and keeping the tracks really meaty and driving, not necessarily an album that you'll be like thinking about the riffs afterwards, if you know what I mean.
Very easy. Yeah. Like when you think of those, like that kind of 80s kind of like the kind of 80s, like I was going to say like the kind of power rock stuff and all the rest. Like synth will, believe it or not, take a huge part on what you get over a verse, and then the chorus is really where the guitars kick in. You might get a little bit of guitar towards the end, but it's not, songs are not built on the riffs. The guitars are just another instrument on an ensemble, which makes the songs. So
yeah, for sure. Just they're like another layer, and like a kind of an energy that keeps
energy
keeps the kind of the drive kind of pushing forward. Some cases the guitars are actually pulled back quite a bit. Blood of Heroes like kind of lowers them ever so slightly in the mix.
Did you get your pirate hat out?
Fucking hell. That one
there was a bit like what I always love about listening to anything remotely power metal is the bit that I know Dave's challenged, right? Like the one step, and it always involves the bit that gets a bit swashbuckling. The bit that maybe involves a patch or a parrot on your shoulder is the bit that I know Dave's Dave's in a quandary right now. He might check out, and that track is so unashamedly like that. You listen to it like this, like probably with like a tankard of ale, like like this, and that's the bit where I was like, can Dave withstand the power of Heroes?
Like a kind of almost kind of flute sounding thing comes in, and I was like, oh god. But like vocally, Noura still sounds great. She hits some
amazing
fucking really high notes on that track. There's one moment where she pushes into like almost a kind of rasp in her voice, and it's really cool. I really like that.
It's also they don't linger. They don't like become pirate metal at the end. The track that follows Angels of Midnight is the like, once again, I feel like it's a movie I've seen. Like half this album is like that. Was this the theme to fucking Knight Rider? What you mean?
Yeah, very 80s tinged again. A lot of AOR coming through. Another huge chorus, which may or may not be holding out for a hero. But it's another like kind of like anthemic kind of sounding track. The second half of the album is maybe not quite as strong as the first half. I've had any kind of like
more playful side, really.
And doesn't necessarily lose momentum. The energy kind of continues right through at the end, but it feels like they're kind of in their comfort zone in that second half. Angel of Midnight's probably the highlight, to be honest, from the second half of the album. The other tracks were good, but not like incredible. Riders of the Storm had again like 80s character in the vocal.
It's also not what I thought. Like when I saw that on the track list, I was like, "Oh shit!" There's like cover song, and it kicks on like dun, 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 dun. I was like, "That is not Riders of the Storm."
Like, a wee bit of a sea shanty kind of vibe at times.
It reminded me of, what was it? It was Tungsten.
Yeah, very much. It
reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah, and in the closing track, I kind of pinned my hopes on them closing with, I don't know, maybe pushing the boat out a little bit.
Oh no,
giving us a
wrong
little
band.
more of something unique to finish.
Wrong band.
It finishes and it's, I don't know, I felt like the closer was one of the weaker tracks on
Yes.
the album. If I'm honest, it didn't end on a like a euphoric high for me. It was good, but not like great.
It's a mid-album song.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
But production wise, like it's grand, it's full sounding. There's a lot of like that kind of nostalgic character of the 80s. The solos cut through nicely, without like overpowering anything. And same like with the synths and the vocals, like they never like fight for the spotlight. The balance is excellent between the two.
Which is, but like you literally tell me this, like the synth guy recorded this.
I know.
Like the balance in this album is fucking surprising.
Yeah.
Like the synths are so well, which once again like brings me to my point. You play a guitar, you're a sound guy.
Yeah.
Don't play a guitar, chances are biased as fuck.
But for the most part, like this album is like full of bangers. Like it is fun, it's anthemic, like killer vocals. Love the 80s character on it. And like there are tracks on this that like just absolutely are living in your head rent free after.
Oh god, yeah.
So hooky. But yeah, I had a real fun time with it, and that's what I was hoping for. I was like, this has got to be fun and just like show me a good time, and it did that. What about you? What did you think?
I mean, yeah, well, like we like for anyone listening to this, we in this week of recording from the clothes we're wearing, this is the sixth album. This is the sixth and final album review of our recording session, and the way I have been forcing us to record albums tonight has meant this is the final one. And the reason this was the final one is because I could feel like I could just relax into this review without going like that. The weighty undertones of the emotional crushing elements on this album juxtaposed with, like, I felt like this to me front to back was a good time, right? Once again, Battle Beast are not doing anything that I haven't heard a lot of bands do. Their secret weapon is their female fronted power metal vocalist, because I can think of other bands female fronted from this part of the world where the voice is a little bit cleaner or actually a little bit more gravelly, but don't have that real command of, you mentioned Judas Priest before, but that kind of classic metal vocal that she has, and the range she has is fucking ridiculous. Some of the notes are just, it feels like she could just hold it for a minute. Well, there's like, actually, you like count it. She's still holding it. Count it. Oxygen mask. So like just for days, musicianship in this is incredible. Power metal bands, I feel like it's an understatement to talk about how great the players are, because they're all really, really gifted. The kind of drop off point for me is always when it becomes a bit too twee. You know, when it becomes that level of, right, I get it. Do we need to keep listening to it? What Steelbound does really well as an album is it keeps under 40 minutes, which is mercifully short. And whilst it does experiment, you mentioned before, Twilight Cabaret, which tries something a little bit more Latin and really fucking works for the band. I genuinely think they nail that. Or if it's a track like Riders of the Storm, which has this kind of and the Linda kind of feel to it as well. Those tracks, or even to an extent Blood of Heroes, where we get this kind of pirate theme thing, are one-offs, they're blips, they're bits that the band want to experiment a different sound, and that's cool. It's not the whole album, and I like the fact that they try that, and it might, there's always, in all those songs, there's a bit that I really like, even if I don't necessarily like the entirety of the song. I really like the vocal performance, the keys are really cool, or that's actually a really smart riff. You kind of like sink into that with this genre of music. I think you kind of have to. There are very few kind of power metal-y bands that I genuinely think are like release albums that I think front to back are like impeccable. There's always the one song where I'm like, so I don't have necessarily songs here. It's more moments where something arrives and I'm like, that right, you maybe push that idea one step beyond my taste, but I don't think it's bad. It's just like my taste would have reined that back a little bit, but then again, I'm not in the band. I think it's fun. I think it's produced incredibly well. I think it's just... you cannot not smile, Double Negative. You cannot not smile when listening to this. And that's how I felt all the way through. You were talking about tapping your feet. My knee was going at certain bits. I was fucking like, I was knee drumming.
Yeah.
You feel like, you feel yourself just like getting into it.
Yeah.
And that's the best of this. That's kind of what this music is. This music is designed to make you feel good. Right? And as a result, it's kind of difficult not to want to keep coming back and listening to it. I never heard of them before. Didn't obviously check out the previous album like you did, but as an introduction, I think this is brilliant. It reminded me a lot of that part of the world really does this better than almost anywhere else.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, I can't remember, I'm sure they are Finnish, but One Morning Left as well. Who do that kind of neon spangled 80s inspired, heavier than this, but that style that they bring to it as well, where the choruses are just saccharine, huge, and 80s as fuck, just makes me happy. I want to listen to music like this to make me happy. I don't want to listen to this music and dissect every fucking riff and every the choice that they did. I don't want to do that. I just want to feel good, and this album made me feel good. So yes, my score will reflect the fact that it made me feel good, whilst at the same time not being a perfect album.
Yeah,
so
same, absolutely the same. It is not a perfect album. There are a couple of tracks this I'm like, yeah, it's good, but it's not like maybe my taste. That being said, I had a fucking great time with this album. Like, I smiled like the whole fucking time right through this. It's catchy, it's hooky, like the performances are great, the playing on it's great, the guitar work's excellent, and it's like steeped in 80s nostalgia, which I love. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Duncan, what are you thinking?
I can't help but notice that during all the mention of all the instrumentation there, you omitted the guitar, which I will bring up right now, and I will say for that, it gets a 4.
Fair enough. Battle Beast.
Fair enough. He was playing the guitar whilst moving the faders, recording the band. He's a fucking legend.
Guitars.
The most majestic of all instruments. You should be lucky to have someone that owns a guitar.
I love how passionate you are about guitars.
Always. The thing is, I got into them late, and now I'm just like, you have that in your band, you have a fan for life.
Steelbound, out on October 17th on Nuclear Blast Records. Check out the links to the band, the pre-order, one of the singles in the description. Let us know what you think. Happy to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. That is our review. Thank you for checking it out. We'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, take care. Catch you on the next one.
Bye, everyone.